everyone, this is Toyo from Hokago Card Time, back at it again with Zazan Week, and today we have pretty much the opposite of yesterday's deck. We covered an aggro deck and how it was broken with Zazan yesterday, and today we're gonna be talking about a combo deck. So this is Nubatama Handless Combo. Nubatama is a clan that focuses on discarding, and this deck is pretty much no exception. We're going to be limiting our opponent's hand to only 4 cards starting on turn 3. That's if the deck goes well. So, without further ado, let's get right into the deck with its centerpiece, our Grade 3 Shura Stealth Dragon, Jammyocongo. So Jammyocongo has the skill, when you ride him, you get a protect marker, and not only that, you make your opponent discard down to 6 cards in hand. The skill is also active at the end of each player's turn. So 6 cards is nice and all, but if you have a grade 3 install, then your opponent discards down to 4 instead of 6. 4 is a really small number in terms of Cardfight Vanguard, because it means after your opponent drive checks, well, they still have to discard those drive checks. You basically limit a lot of your opponent's defensive and offensive options by making them discard down to 4. So, Jamio is a really good card, and he's been a centerpiece of premium Nubatama for a long time. But how exactly does the new support break him? Well, it's broken because now you can, on your grade 3 right turn, on turn 3, make your opponent discard down to 4, as opposed to needing to randomly soul charge. We can guarantee that grade 3 soul with the help of our new friend, Cloud Elemental Mowark. So, Cloud Elemental Mowark is a grade 2 Gray Elemental with the skill act on Vanguard or Rearguard Circle if you have 4 units without abilities, you pay Counter Blast 1, and then you ride Thunder Elemental Barigiran from your deck. And if you rode, you get to flip a face down Storm Element Cycloned from your G-Zone face up. So what does Barigiran do? Well, Barigiran, when you ride him, you pay Soul Blast 1, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, and add 2 vanillas from among them to your hand. And his other skill, by paying Counter Blast 1, if you have 4 vanillas on board, you try to Storm Element Cyclone onto your Vanguard Circle from face up. So the reason Barigiran is relevant is because he's a grade 3 that you can Superior Ride on turn 2 with only 1 Counter Blast. It's basically like Ezel if you've ever played it. Mowark is our bow mains. So with Jamio, this is really good because when your turn 3 comes, your opponent is going to be discarding down to... Not only is your opponent going to be discarding down to 4 cards in hand, you immediately get to stride while they're still on grade 2, and assuming you go first, of course. So, Nubatama, as you know, has some pretty weak strides, especially after Rene got banned from being used with Jammyocongo, but in Premium Collection, they have a new stride in Jakumessou. So what this new stride does is, on attack, by flipping a card in your G-Zone face up and retiring 2 of your grade 0 rearguards, you bounce all of your rearguards in your hand, you draw 2 cards, and then you get to call 2 cards from your hand to rearguard circle. If you call 2, he gets plus 10k in a crit. So, not only is this a pretty good push option, you get to recuperate all of your vanillas that you call to board if you don't want to attack with them for some reason. And then you get to draw 2 cards, which can be perfect guards or heals or whatever. It basically allows you to survive your opponent's next turn pretty handily. So, your opponent is going to be taking a 37k swing with 2 crits, while they're on grade 2 and they only have 4 cards in hand. But this also combos with our old friend Zazan, because Zazan has a non-play skill. On Rearguard Circle, when you call him, you Soul Blast 1 to draw 2 cards, call 2 vanillas from your hand, and then you flip a face-up Cyclone. So with Zazan and the Stride, you get to call 4 cards. That's basically a complete field reset, and you're calling vanillas that are getting buffed, so your columns will be pretty big, slamming into a grade 2 opponent with only 4 cards in hand. This is pretty much almost always lethal. So talking about the vanillas, we have our new Gray Elemental Vanilla, Mekira. Mekira is an 8k grade 1 with 15k shield. We also have Nubatama's 15k shield and a 12k grade 2, just in case, we can't ride to Barigiran on turn 2. So aside from that, we also have the ability to turn 3 Dragma. So Dragma is a ultimate stride. You can only stride him if you have 3 or more face-up cards in your G-Zone, which won't be a problem because we have Zazan, we have Tempest Sphere, we have Mowark, we have all these ways to flip cards in our G-Zone face-up before even our turn 3. So when we ride turn 3, we write Jammyocongo, and then we can immediately strike to Dragma, wipe our opponent's board, wipe their hand, make them ride into something with only one card in hand left, and if that's not a grade 3, well, they pretty much die on the spot. So, Dragma, well, we're basically taking advantage of the fact that everyone is going to be rushing you, because this is Zazan format, aggro decks reign supreme. You're gonna be taking 3-4 damage if you go first, so you can just take advantage of that by using Mowark Blast 1 to ride Barigiran, and then you ride Jammyocongo, you still have some face-up damage, and then you immediately strike to Dragma and kill them. That's, I think, why this deck is going to shine in Zazan format. So, other than that, Nubatama has some other tools to deal with the opposing vanilla decks and Mujinlord. So, this is the original Mujinlord from GBT11. What he does is, by paying Counterblast 1, you flip a card in your G-Zone face-up, and you dominate the same number of your opponent's rear guards as the face-up cards in your G-Zone. So, as previously mentioned, Zazan ramps our G-Zone, so we have multiple face-up. And when we dominate our opponent's vanillas, they get buffed by Cycloned. So for example, if we dominate 3 of their vanillas, we get 3 more swings, and those swings will be buffed by Cycloned. So our opponent takes 6 attacks, and well, a lot of those attacks are gonna be from their own big vanillas. Not only that, your opponent's gonna be limited to only maybe 3 cards in hand, 6 cards in hand. It's pretty hard to defend against that, especially when, well, you have all these ways of increasing power on your own board with Cyclone. So for the rest of the deck, well, we have 4 draw triggers, 4 perfect cards. And the reason we're playing draw triggers is because we're not really focused on trying to crit our opponent to death. We kinda just wanna survive and then keep them at 4 hand where they can't really do anything. So yeah, we also have the new crit. This is a Strider crit. You can discard it as a grade 3 to stride. So that's pretty good. So that pretty much sums up this deck. Well, again, Zazan is a bit of a problematic card, as you can tell. So we talked a bit yesterday about how it enables aggro, but now today it enables all sorts of degenerate combos too. And this isn't even the most degenerate of them all. This is just a pretty good synergy, but the effects is pretty devastating, as you can tell. By ramping your G-Zone so quickly, you just unleash all sorts of crazy things to happen, like turn 3 Dragma, or Mujinlord for a full board on first stride. It's kind of overwhelming, honestly, and really, I hope Zazan gets banned, because the core of the deck is pretty fun. You get to use Mowark to ride up, and then Barigiran, and all these kinds of cool stuff, but Zazan just makes it way too consistent. So yeah, I think this deck will be really good. If you like combo, control decks, if you like making your opponent suffer by only having 4 cards in hand, you'll probably enjoy it too. So that's about it for the deck profile. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for watching the video. If you like what you saw, make sure to like and comment down below. Also, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss any new uploads. Thank you all for watching. This is Toyo from Hokago Card Time. See you next time. Bye bye.